What's up everybody? This is Colin Jenkins here, vlog number 2, and today I'm going to answer the question I get all the time. How many days should I train in the gym each week? And the quick and easy answer is that 90% of you should be training 3 times each week in the gym. Now before I go over the whys of 3 times in the gym per week, I want to talk to you and show you a little bit about this orienteering race that I did this last weekend in downtown Ventura with my wife and daughter and a few other members from my gym. The race was put on by the Orienteering Club alongside one of our members, Jeff Linder, and they put together this crazy map. You got this map right before this 90-minute race with over 40 locations, and we had to figure out, which locations we could get to within the time frame that would allow us to get back to our original starting spot. It was very cool, and I want to show you a little bit about it.
You're new at this.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you get to, say, 83, there's a question. You circle the answer. You won't get all the checkpoints. Nobody ever has.
When did you guys start?
10-6.
Okay, so you guys are almost done, huh?
Yeah. Yes. So what's the question for 39?
It's the, how much is the Ojai burrito cost?
Got it.
Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. Dun, 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 dun.
490?
Yeah.
They got 510.
Wow! Good job, congrats.
That was awesome.
I think that was close. Yeah.
Enough with that crazy orienteering race for now. I want to talk to you about why you should be coming in to the gym 3 times a week instead of coming in 4 or 5 times a week like some people would suggest. Now there's a lot of things to consider based on yourself as an individual. What are your goals? What are your hobbies? Why are you working out and why are you going to the gym? The reason I think 3 times in the gym is so effective because it's really the point at which we're getting a lot of really good results if you're following a well-designed strength conditioning program. After 3 sessions, most people can still improve a little more by 4 or even 5 times a week, but the amount is not quite as much, right? So at 1 time a week, you're not going to make that much progress. At 2 times a week, you're going to make okay progress, but it's not anywhere near 3 times a week. That's where I really see the most progress in terms of general fitness, body composition, general well-being, flexibility, conditioning, and general fitness levels. The difference between 2 and 3 is fairly significant, so I do like to have most people who have the schedule that allows it to come to a gym 3 times a week, but 2 times a week is not terrible either. A lot of the people I work with work out twice a week. Now I always think your time in the gym should help support your life outside of the gym. Believe it or not, most people who come to me aren't looking to be the fittest person in the gym. They come because they want to improve their lives outside of the gym. And the training and the workouts and everything should support that. So let's give an example. Let's say you work in an office, you have a family, you sit down most of the day, you'd like to lose a little weight and get fitter and feel better, right? So if you come 3 times a week, you're gonna be able to achieve those goals exceptionally well. If you come 5 times a week, you may or may not get towards your goals faster, and I'll talk about that in a second, but it's gonna take a lot more recovery from you, a lot bigger of a change for your lifestyle if you're gonna be able to support that training, right? So if you train extremely hard 5 days a week, guess what? You need to sleep more to recover. You're gonna need to eat more to support the type of training you're doing. Depending on how hard you push every day and what type of training you're actually doing, it actually may make you more tired each day. So these are all things to consider when you're deciding how often to work out. As I mentioned, if your goal is just to feel better, lose weight, a vastly significant portion of losing weight and body composition goals is done in your diet, not necessarily in the gym. The gym supports it, but it's your diet that really gets you to those goals. And so hitting the gym 4 or 5 times a week compared to 3 isn't really gonna make the difference you may think it will. It will take more time though. And if you have a limited amount of time, you have a family and a full-time job, then 5 times a week may not be the best option for you. Another reason why I suggest 3 times a week is because people have hobbies outside the gym. Most people aren't just interested in working out every day, right? And so the training should support that. Here's a scenario, and it's not for most people, where working out 4 or 5 times a week makes the most sense. And that's if you really enjoy the training and the workouts in the gym. In that case, the gym is part of your big hobby. You really enjoy it. So when you come more than 3 times a week, maybe you come 4 or 5, you're coming those extra times not necessarily to feel better outside of the gym or support your other hobbies that you might have, but to get better within the gym. Maybe you have goals of lifting more weight or doing better on a workout. These are very common goals, and we encourage our members to set goals like these. And for people who get really into improving themselves within the gym, 5 times a week makes sense. I also want to talk a little bit about fat loss and workout volume and how often you should work out, right? So like I mentioned, fat loss and body composition has mostly to do with your diet. Training enhances and helps, but it is not the primary factor. But in some cases, training too much can actually hinder your progress towards your body composition goals. When you work out, there's a hormone in your body called cortisol, right? It's a stress hormone. It's activated in a flight or fight response. Now, having too much cortisol makes it really, really difficult to lose weight, and in fact, it can actually encourage your body to build more fat. So having too much cortisol is not a great thing, right? Working out is a stressor, and it causes cortisol to build up in your body, which is why, for people who train a lot, they might be able to start losing weight, but you'll still see a lot of fat on. They're getting thinner, but their body fat percentage isn't really changing as much as it should be. And most of that has to do with that cortisol production, which is why I suggest strength training and shorter high intensity interval training as a primary means to encourage fat loss. To get the most out of strength training and high intensity training, 3 times a week is gonna get you where you need to be. Now, I want to talk more about having hobbies outside the gym. Now, this might not apply to you because maybe you don't work out in a gym yet. Maybe you don't work out at all. But for some people, they get obsessed with the gym, obsessed with working out. And this is not a bad thing. But I don't think it's the healthiest thing. When you're that into working out, you're working out for a hobby. You're working out because you really enjoy it. You're not working out because you're the healthiest person in the world. I'd much rather most of our members train here 3 times a week and have a lot of different hobbies and things they're using their fitness for outside the gym. And I think doing more stuff like that is much more beneficial to our lives and our well-being than just spending an extra day or 2 inside the gym.